So moving on to the 3-bedroom, there are 4 layouts in total. So we start with the most compact one. This is a 3-bedroom sitting at 850 square feet. So for own stay buyers looking into buying into this will probably cater more for upgraders looking to enter into a private market because the price point here is quite attractive. Right, so at 850 square feet, 2,005 per square foot, you are looking at about 2.125 million and up to be able to get a 3-bedroom here at Orie at Toa Payoh. How the layout is like is there is the window here that is being catered for the bedroom too, right? So looking over this side, you will be looking at the 2-bed 1-bath window at the kitchen. Other than that, the kitchen is a enclosable kitchen with a store at the back, but there are no windows. But it might fit for people who are just looking at a smaller 3-bedroom, in this case, probably for school and possibly to stay just for a short while, right? But from an investor point of view, this kind of entry price is hard to find in today's market if you're looking at new. So this layout also allows you to possibly do co-living for rental with minimum renovation costs, right? So you can rent out one room here, right, master bedroom. You can rent out one room here to share the bathroom. You can also build a wall here and a door to be able to fit for one more room, right? So you can potentially be able to rent out to 4 different tenants at the same time, and that will give you kind of like a maximum yield for this kind of quantum is something to possibly look at, right? For 3-bedroom here, 850 square feet harmonized. If you look at the 3-bedroom analysis for Chuan Park, for example, right? Their compact 3-bedroom at 915 square feet. This is already going at 2322. So Orie's entry price 3-bedroom will be quite attractive as compared to going to Chuan Park, for example, right? Considering that it's still a full-fledged condo, it's not something like a boutique development to consider. I think for a 3-bed, you can potentially rent it out from an investor point of view because the entry price is quite attractive at 2.1 mil. Then we move on to the 3-bedroom premium, right? So 3-bedroom premium has 2 sizes. One is 1023 and the other is 1044. The only difference is in the foyer space here, right? So one is a bit squarish, the other one is a bit long, and that's where the additional square footage is catered to, right? But overall layout wise, you still get a full kitchen with yard, WC, home shelter with windows, right? You get 3 full-size rooms that fit for a family, I would say. And the price that we are looking at is about 2.5 million up. So based on 2,005 per square foot, times the smaller size for 3-bedroom premium, you are looking at about 2.5 all the way possibly up to 2.8 for higher floor units, right? The reason why I think that both units will be priced very similarly is because the 1023 is actually facing south, right? So the south facing, you get the CBD facing. You will probably be having a better views than the north facing one. So even though it's bigger. So between the two, I would say if you can go for the low floor ones, both are actually going to be priced quite similarly, right? So if you have a good Q number, you want to look at something like that, I think you can possibly look at the south-facing low floor unit. Now we compare between Orie, the 3-bedroom premium versus the Chuan Park's 3-bedroom premium, which is of a relatively similar size. Right. For Orie, we get a longer kitchen. For Chuan Park's layout, right, what I would comment on is it has a shorter kitchen here, but at the same time, the home shelter is actually not tucked in the kitchen, right? So, for example, this layout, right, this home shelter will definitely not be able to cater for a helper's room. But for Orie, the home shelter is in the kitchen, and then it has a WC possibly to fit in the helper as well. So I think this layout between Chuan Park and Orie, I would choose the Orie's one just to be able to cater for families in future demand, to be able to cater for a helper if required, right? So the first impression when I saw Chuan Park's layouts are like, actually, they're not really very friendly for possibly slightly bigger families, but want to cater for helpers. Now we come to the 3-bedroom dual key, right? Dual keys are quite common right now. They probably usually cater one stack for dual key units for people looking to buy for own stay and part investment as well. This is the foyer. There will be a studio unit, right? And the pantry that does not give you any induction cooker or anything, right? So this one is really just for probably people don't cook, right? So you get a fridge, washer dryer, sink, that's all. So that's why they call it a pantry instead of a kitchenette. For the other side, which is the 2-bedroom side, you get a home shelter. You get an enclosable kitchen that leads you out to the balcony. So quite a unique layout, and I think it will be quite sought after if you're just looking at this particular site, right? So, but the size difference is quite significant. 3-bedroom premium is biggest 1044 square feet. The 3-bedroom dual key is 1130, right? So based on that, 1130 times 2005 per square foot, you're looking at about 2.8 million and up. Question is it worthwhile or not, right, to go for the 3-bed dual key? If I look at just purely from a rental perspective, right, today if I buy a 3-bedroom dual key here at the Orie at 2.9 million, my mortgage upon TOP based on 2.55% interest rate is at 7,800. If I assume that the buyer for this couple with maximum CPF contributions, my monthly cash outlay is actually 4,330. If I rent out both units, 2-bedroom, and I rent out the studio unit at 3,000 and 3,008 for both, I will get $6,800 a month in terms of rental. After deduct the maintenance of about $400 a month, I should still get a positive cash flow of about $1,600 a month, right? So from a rental yield point perspective and having positive cash flow, this might still work. The question is, if I stay in one and I rent out the studio, right, for example, based on the same assumptions, if I just rent out the studio unit at $3,000, my cash flow after deducting maintenance would be negative, right? So if you want to be able to stay in one and rent out the other one, it will not make the most out of the investment, and at the same time you may have a problem of letting it go. There are two reasons to this. One is the price gap between this one and the 3-bedroom premium, right? The other one is for dual key concepts. It actually really caters to a very specific group of buyers. So some of them, they really just want a 3-bedroom for own stay, right? I think Orie at Toa Payoh, a lot of people are coming in to buy for own stay because the location central, amenities are there, and it's near a lot of schools as well. So when people are looking to buy a dual key, I think the future pool of demand is going to be smaller. Between the normal 3-bedroom and the 3-bedroom dual key, the price gap is actually about 215K difference, right? So you can get a normal 3-bed at 2.5 million and know that it will be demand coming in to buy your unit in the future. Or you can get a 1130 at possibly 2.9 million if you don't have a very good Q number. And may not be able to let it go so quickly, right? So I think the strategy here is, if you're looking for a 3-bedroom even for investment, right, I think the best case scenario is to just go for the normal 3-bed, because the price gap between the 3-bed and the 3-bed dual key is actually quite significant, right? And they may also pump in a bit more premium for dual key units because people are looking to buy for investment in this case.